Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Battle Brothers. It's been a while. Always a bit tough to justify going back to these older games, even if they are personal favorites. But, you know what? Game just got a new content drop, and that's all the excuse I need. Honestly, that by itself is pretty impressive. Battle Brothers is almost a decade old now, and still getting new content drops. That aside, we never really did delve much into the various other DLC, which, for the record, is actually what killed Season 2. That season just happened to have the misfortune of starting right before they announced like 3 big new content drops, none of which would be backwards compatible, so, you know. Yeah, it kind of killed the forward momentum on that one. But now it's time to finally set that to right. I once again call upon the Raiders as we venture forth into the bloody and bountiful realm of Battle Brothers. Though this time not as mundane mercenaries or a lowly peasant militia, but rather, as per the Raiders' whims, the esoteric anatomists. Fueled by an unquenchable thirst for knowledge, the anatomists have spent years dissecting the exotic and the alien. With social mores dogging their research, however, they've turned to you to form a mercenary company and provide them a new source of fresh specimens. Which essentially translates to starting with 3 anatomists as our core group, 1,000 extra gold, the ability to craft unique potions from dead creatures. However, it does come at a very steep cost. We can never gain the confident bonus, which is flat plus 10% to all attributes when morale is sufficiently high. Definitely a hefty hit to long-term viability, but you know, sometimes you've got to sacrifice for science. As per tradition, no jokey names this time out. We are the Retcon Raiders. Though I will say there were a few that sprang to mind. I'll just use those as episode titles instead. Keep the banner simple. We are not a vainglorious crew this time out. And since I am a mite bit rusty at this point, and let's be honest, I was never all that great to begin with, we're going to go medium down the board. I feel like that's fair. And we're good to go. Let us venture forth. The Anatomists. You thought them bounty hunters at first, but they were quick to correct you in that they announced themselves as researchers, not searchers. When you were still yet confused, they explained that they were anatomists, which did not help their efforts. Frustrated, they called you a colloquial hole, which you were proud to retort that you knew what colloquial meant. But they laughed and said you misheard, for they were referring to you in the bird sense. With them laughing in your face, you drew your sword, and at this point, they put their hands in the air, each one holding a purse full of crowns. After some further talk, you figured out that they're eggheads with a keen interest in corpses. Being that you are quite talented in creating corpses yourself, they saw fit to hire you to do exactly that for them. You will traverse the land, hiring a formidable band of mercenaries, and help these peculiar men accomplish their scientific tasks. All that you ask is that they not do funny things with your body if you happen to die. The anatomists put on warm smiles and promise they'd never do such a thing to a man they're doing business with. Each one of them looks like they learned how to smile from a dead man, but you'll just have to take their word for it. You know what, on second thought, promise to leave my body alone while I'm alive, too. Thanks. And right off the bat, let's get a gander at our world map here. Nicely clustered. Westerhole's a bit off to the side. Ooh, yeah, look at that. We've got an almost perfect trade loop here. Just lacking a road there between Matterfest and Ras Sanan. Yeah, I think we can work with this. Now let's get a gander at our starting crew. Anatomist 1. Pretty average stats. Has the Spartan trait. Yeah, it seems like a pretty standard mid-tier. Fatigue is potentially problematic. I could see this guy going one of two ways, either frontline or backline pole armor, perhaps. Really comes down to the defense rolls. Anatomist 2. With the Loyal trait. Hey, nice. 3 stars and initiative. Interesting. Oof, wow, that health's actually pretty rough. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, pretty mediocre on all 3. That'll definitely need to be shored up. And Anatomist number 3. With Lucky. Also, triple star placement in both defenses. And double star in morale. I mean, that right there, that's got to be our fledgling banner man. Could go full tank, but, you know. No way. That health and fatigue are way too low. So Bannerman it is. Now let's get ourselves off this mountain and pop over to the nearest town. Cluster of brigands, interesting. Definitely not ready for combat just yet. Gotta get some warm bodies and some proper gear. Also some proper names, but we'll worry about that momentarily. Loundstat. They apparently produce peat bricks. Low value, but easy trade goods. Local prices are a bit on the outrageous side, which makes sense. They have the rated modifier. Oh, that Warfork is tempting, but not at the current markup. Ooh, a Fletcher. Oh, pricey, though. And a Wildman. Militia. Merchant. Low power, but a nice utility grab. Second Wildman. Third Wildman with the same name. Sure, why not? And a Monk. That's another decent utility bro. Flagellant's a maybe. Depends on traits, I think. Same with the Fletcher. If just for the chance to craft that potential super bow. Alright, give me a sec to do some bookkeeping real quick. Run tryouts, grab our first couple of recruits, get everyone properly equipped and named. Then we'll get this show on the road. Be right back. And we're back. Alright, let's run through this. First up, we've got Eerie Vaughn, our loyal anatomist. 2 stars in health, 3 in initiative. Destined to either be a frontline dedicated spear bro or a backline pikeman. Entirely dependent on those first 2 defense rolls. Then we've got RandomPassrby. One of the twin Ragnars, the cheaper of our Wildman options, with Swift, which helps offset the usual Wildman deficit. But then, unfortunately, also Fear of Greenskins, which isn't great, but you can eventually lose that trait if you survive long enough. We'll see if Random makes it that far. Might not, though. Currently at -4 melee defense, offset by a shield. Let's hope for some good rolls. After that, we have Revenant, another Raider mainstay. Currently relegated to the front line, but, you know, again, it'll depend on where his defense rolls go. All of the anatomists might just end up being pikemen. Speaking of which, King's Rook. Bit of a waste to have that kind of star placement and defense on our back line, but, you know, I mean, I figure Bannerman's important enough. And Arrow Bowman, our one raider who specifically requested to be an archer, which I'm happy to oblige. He's got the Determined trait, which sadly is a bit of a waste with our current crew, but I think it is still used in a few potentially positive events. But then beyond that, decent starting range, decent stamina. Got some initiative too for potential overwhelm and alpha striking. No bow just yet, could not afford it, so we'll have to make do with the sling until we find something better. And I will say, for now we're keeping this exceedingly simple. We've got some pretty middling recruits here, and I would like to get maximum use out of that Anatomist gear. I really like the way it looks. So we'll go for the basic survival trifecta. We'll go Colossus at 2, Dodge at 3, and then Gifted at 4. At which point we should more or less have an idea of where each character is headed stat-wise. Then we'll start varying perks by roll. For now, though, the trick is just to keep all these mooks alive. Stats for Arrow, no real surprises there. We're going range, we're going fatigue for potential warbow. And I guess might as well take that max defense roll. And random. Once again, we grab Colossus. And let's see how we roll. Oh, you're killing me. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, let's... Oh, that's rough. We'll take the max in morale. And yeah, we gotta go for melee. It's meager, but he needs it. Alright, well, let's take our first job, see how this turns out. A dog is snoring at the feet of Frisco of Lounstad. He leans forward to gently pet the hound behind its ears. I hear you have a nose for finding people, Sellsword. For solving problems. You nod. It is true, after all. Good, good. I have a task for you. A simple one. Something of great value to me has been stolen. My demonic statuette. I need you to track down those who stole it. Kill them, obviously. Then bring it back to me. A demonic statuette, you say? Yeah, I mean, I guess we could do that. That is a thing we can physically do. He nods. You look able, so I'm willing to pay you quite a bit. You are to receive 350 crowns when the contract is done. You know what? We'll take it. I overstretched our funds a bit with those initial buys, so we need whatever we can get. No negotiating. We need the rep. Alright, where are we headed? Oh, right, of course. Right across the mountain range, why not? And into the Witchmount Hills. Could be worse, though. Could have been an impassable body of water we'd have to go around. I've had that happen before. Ooh. Oh, shoot. Those guys. Alright. Out of the forest. Let's... Shit. Yeah, we didn't make it. I was hoping we'd pull them into the hills before contact, but... But this actually isn't a terrible starting spot. Yeah, we're at the center of a four-way choke point. Push for cover. Let's plug up the north. Flail off right. 2 turns out. Pikmin coming in on right. Archer on left. Archer below. Rev plugs up right. Dagger coming in on north. 2 turns out. Random engaged. Whiffed on the opening shot, but he's locked the Pikmin. Rook backs up Eerie. Fiercest fighting's going to be on the north. Tree line should protect him from the archer on left. Tuck arrow just off center. View in all four directions. Oh. Glancing hit tears through Bowman's tunic. Rev surges right, hilting his dagger in the neck of the approaching pikeman with surgical precision. Here he holds the northern pass. The flailing pikeman lands a hit on random, tearing his tunic, but bouncing off of his steely pecs. Random puts the sputtering and gurgling Pikmin out of his misery. Eerie crouches in the brush, spear at the ready. The thugs are approaching warily. They know something's up. Rook holds. Archer steps into view behind. Arrows and stones sail over the RetconRaider's heads. Club-wielding thug rushes to reinforce his brethren. Bowman struggles to get the hang of his crude sling staff. Hopefully we can salvage a bow. I see two on the battlefield. Rev circles wide, preparing a flank. And Random gleefully runs down the first of the poachers. Ah, no luck on the spear wall. But a follow-up thrust impales the bandit through the chest. And Rook swiftly capitalizes, thrusting over Eerie's shoulder to drive the mortally wounded bandit to the forest floor. Rev continues circling wide, with the club-wielding bandit swiftly intercepting. Random begins a heated exchange with the first of our archers. And Bowman moves to back him up, safely out of sight. Eerie wears down another bandit. And King's Rook, once again, with the fatal follow-through. Rev exchanges strikes with the clubman. Random takes a glancing blow. Aha! But Bowman finally lands a shot, shattering the arm of the unfortunate archer. Eerie pushes up, flanking with Revenant. Rev promptly plunges his blade into the back of the bandit's leg. The bandit keels forward and the anatomist falls upon him, but only one rises after. We still have that slinger lurking in the bushes. Yep, there he is. Bowman looses another well-placed stone, glancing across the first archer's forehead. sending him spilling to the ground. And perhaps unwilling to leave it at that, Random sets into the body, savaging it with his random acts of violence. Mostly so as to just stay out of line of sight for the moment. Whilst the anatomists set about their bloody work. The bandit slinger flails wildly, briefly dazing Eerie. But it's a futile effort. Swiftly overwhelmed, the bandit falls. Which just leaves Archer 2, but let's be honest, that guy's probably long gone. We'll have to hope we get lucky on that first one. Get ourselves a starter bow. I assume it's about to... Yeah, we're good. Okay, that wasn't too bad. A few bumps and bruises, mostly on random passerby, but we'll take it. Oh, and no bow. Though we did get some other decent stuff. A couple of bucklers, a dagger, an open cap, reinforced flail. We'll take it. We'll toss one of those bucklers to Eerie. We'll move the daggers to our back line as backups. We'll toss the bludgeon to Rev. And you know what? What the heck? Let's toss that reinforced flail to Random. He's got low melee, but plenty of fatigue. That'll help circumvent shields. And of course he gets the cap too. And rolling right off of one fight, thankfully with no horrific injuries, the chase resumes. The thieves may have thought themselves safe after that ambush, but the statute of limitations has not yet run out. Ah, the thieves are quite human. A simple crew of vagabonds and brigands. They arm themselves as you order your men to attack. To arms! Many brigand thugs. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, 7 thugs, bit of a fight. But our starting position is fantastic. Though we will have to shuffle down one step. Meet them on this 2 wide. Otherwise, Rook won't be able to contribute. As the raiders approach, the thieves fall into disarray, some charging, others hanging back. Eerie steps up, meeting the first one in combat, thrusting his spear between his ribs. Galvanized by his anguished cries, the rest of the brigands break into a haphazard charge. Rev steps up stoically, stunning the next bandit to reach their line. And Random, not to be outdone, rushes forward, flail whirling madly. The first bandit's head all but disintegrates, painting the grass with gore. Rook and Bowman stand at the ready, supporting with range strikes. And undeterred, the thieves continue their self-destructive sprint up the slope. Oh, that's a problem. Bloodied by a cleaver strike, the incensed Random smashes another bandit's nose. A fatal follow-through from Eerie. Before whirling his spear and plunging it into another bandit's side. And Rev, ever the machine, promptly delivers a fatal blow. Menaced by a massive spiked club, Arrow fights for his life. And Eerie swiftly rushes to his aid. Once again, working with uncanny precision, Eerie impales the man through the side, and Rook strikes the fatal blow. Random rushes in, his flail whirling. And another thieve's head simply disintegrates. And Rev rushes to Bowman's aid. A swift strike, shattering the axeman's fingers. Outnumbered and outclassed, one bandit sprints desperately for the horizon. No comfort for his one remaining compatriot, who meets a predictably bloody end. Shame that last one got away. That would have been some nice XP. But you know what? All things considered, not too shabby. We'll take what we got. Though I will say, a bit of a close call with Bowman. I do need to be careful there. The battle is done, and the demonic statuette was easy to find amongst the corpses of your enemies. You should probably return it to Frisco of Loundstat for your just reward. You know, unless you want it for your collection, I guess. Which, to be fair, wouldn't exactly be out of character for me, but alas, not an option. Let's get this new Gambison equipped. That, of course, will go straight to random. I think the cap as well. Oh, yeah, that's one less fatigue, so that's an easy swap. Toss the tunic to Bowman, though it will need a bit of mending. Oh, and let's get those bandages equipped, just in case. That's vital for neck wounds or arterial bleeding. Oop. Sitting and jesting with the men while they check their kit, hone their blades, and mend their armor in the wake of battle. Your mind wanders off to thinking about new ideas for improving the company and its reputation across the lands. What is your conclusion? What do you tell the men? We've done good work here, lads. Let's head back to Loundstat and turn this thing in. And once we've got our foot in the door, Loundstat will make as good a base of operations as any. A place to rest our heels as we ready ourselves for the challenges to come. Oh, we've got our first enemy stronghold. Interesting. Though we will not do that just yet. We'll get this quest turned in first. Do a little bookkeeping. Make sure we're ready before we tackle another fight. When you enter Friso of Loundstat's room, there are a host of guards surrounding him. For a second, you think you've stumbled upon a coup, but the men clear out, leaving behind dice and cards. Friso waves you in. Come, I just lost a good deal of crown, sellsword. Perhaps you brought something to help ease my pains? You take out the demonic statuette and hold it in your hand. Rather gingerly, the man takes it. Good. Very good. Your pay, of course, is here. He hands over a satchel of crowns before turning around in his chair. He seems too consumed by the artifact to say anything else. That's probably fine. Though in retrospect, I probably should have led with the ambush trade routes. Because now we're out of tools and we can't afford more. One sec, let me do some creative bookkeeping here. Hedge our bets before we go clear those trade routes. Hey, we're back. And sadly, both of our potential utility picks, the merchant and the monk, were saddled with some undesirable traits, so I skipped on them. But I did, however, go ahead and grab that flagellant. Low on health, middling in other areas, but lightning fast. Nothing to write home about, but a nice, cheap troop for the front lines. Might work out, might not. Either way, welcome aboard Drakiith. Now let's knock out this next round of level ups. Then we'll see if we can run one more contract. Ooh, and once again, some pretty rough rolls on those combat stats. We'll take the health. Man, I really don't want to take that one in MDef. You know what, we'll compromise. We'll take the melee skill, and we'll take that full 6 in initiative. A 6-point swing in initiative is basically +1 MDef once we get dodge up and running anyway. As for Rev... Oh my goodness, guys, you're killing me. Oh gosh. Slightly better on the melee skill, at least. We'll take that morale. And you know what? Screw it. We'll take the initiative. Really hedging our bets on that dodge. Plus, you know, if we do top initiative on everyone, like 100 to 120, we can potentially have some fun with overwhelming alpha strikes. Consistently overwhelming enemies is like a roundabout defense buff. And King's Rook. Okay, here we go. Melee, defense, resolve. Nice and simple. We do need to shore up his health and fatigue at some point, but we'll worry about that later. And let's snag our second contract. Donbert the Burgermeister takes a seat in a chair big enough to be comfortable for two. He bandies a mug back and forth. Brigands have been harrying us for weeks now, and just yesterday they tried to set fire to a pub. Can you believe that? Who sets fire to such a thing? Luckily we put it out just in time, but things are getting bad around here. If they threaten our precious drink, what will they do next? Luckily, we managed to find where these vagrants are hiding. So, yes, I see your look. It's a simple task, Sellsword. We want you to go kill every last brigand there. Are you willing to work with us? You know what? I think we might just be able to swing that. He gesticulates with his hands, pointing at his fingers as if counting something. But it means nothing to you. Judging from experience, this is good payment for the task. You are to receive 350 crowns when the contract is done. Sounds good to me. We'll take it. Abandoned walls. That's a stronghold we literally just spotted in the woods. Less than ideal to have to go back over the mountain range, but at least we know where it is. Only real downside is physical placement on that fort. It's either hill or forest. both of which can be a mite bit problematic. Oh, we're going around this time. Okay, fair enough. More importantly, once we clear it, we'll also clear this ambush trade routes condition, which should drop tools back down into a much more affordable price range. And we're here. Enemy unknown. Okay, we've got them on numbers, but not on positioning. Immediately fall back. If there are poachers, we do not want to give them easy shots. Three insight, all melee thus far. Four insight. Could still potentially have a poacher. Hold. Eerie readies on flank. Stumbling down the rocky slope, the overeager bandits rush to their doom. And we have contact. Take him out. Random Savages, the first to reach the line, battering him senseless with his flail. Here he moves in on flank, catching a bandit Pikmin off guard. Drakiith joins Random in a savage assault, felling the lead bandit. And there's our fifth. So no poachers, but we do have a pitchfork, which is still potentially problematic. Early advantage to the Raiders. Drakiith moves in, but whiffs. And is whiffed in turn. Hey, okay. Oh, not so lucky the second time. Pick meets axe, and Drakiith is on the losing side, suffering multiple broken fingers. Rev dazes a bandit. Rook fells the Pikmin, another 1-2 combo from Eerie and Rook. With a thrust of his buckler, Drakiith dashes back one of the bandits, then warily moves to the rear. Ah, shit. Rook steps up to take his place, but catches a pitchfork for his troubles. Eerie swiftly moves to aid. Bowman lands another solid shot, shattering the bandit flailman's arm. Sensing an opening, Random lunges, striking down the one-armed bandit. Rook falls back. And Eerie savages the bandit pikeman, impaling him through the leg and chest. Uh-oh. This might be a problem. Oh, thank goodness. With one last thrust, Rook pierces the bandit butcher's chest and shatters their morale. Seeing the pikeman prepared to run, Eerie promptly runs him through. And then there was one. But Rev makes short work of them. Oof, got pretty forked up on that one. Pierced chest on Rook. Shattered fingers on Drakiith. But a couple of level ups. And yet more loot in the bag. Let's run through these level ups real quick. One for Random, who immediately grabs dodge for some much-needed defense. And look at that. Max rolls on melee and melee defense. We will absolutely take that. And then I guess his third one will go in initiative? That'll be an extra +1 on dodge for at least the first round or two. And Bowman also grabs dodge. Even more vital on him since we're not stacking his defense scores. Max bump on range, max bump on fatigue, and initiative. Nice, definitely got some better rolls that time out. Those early rolls were grim. And yeah, let's just head back. Might pick up a 7th, so we'll save the gear wrangling for between episode bookkeeping. You come across a man sitting on a rock. Across from him is a slab of stone, layered with dissected animals. Puppies, kittens, what might be a frog, some sort of rodent, and a duck. He jumps to his feet. "Behold, traveler, the result of my studies. Yet I am still short on so many of my studies. I can see that you are of an inquisitive mind, albeit no doubt a brute. I would like to offer you my services, though I must warn, the advances I have made with these are for me and me alone." He protectively holds an arm ahead of the dissected animals, as if you'd have any interest in them. I mean, I don't normally truck with cat killers, but we do need more warm bodies, and I would really like that unique anatomist gear. You know, even if we don't necessarily keep the anatomist that came with them. The man briefly bows. "Ah, 'tis good to be with my intellectual equals, though I shall remind them that there are some more equal than others, and if they wish to read my works, they may submit a request to do so." Yeah, sure. Just get in the wagon. Anatomist 4. Greedy and sure-footed. Greedy's a bit of a problem, but 2 stars in fatigue? Decent starting melee and melee defense? You know, I hate to say it, but you might actually be a keeper, at least for the time being. So I guess welcome aboard. I'll get you fitted with a proper name a little later. And you know, who knows, maybe you just found a bunch of dead animals and dissected them. Perhaps he's not a cat killer, but merely a defiler of their remains. I've got my eye on you. You return to Lounstadt and talk to Donbert the Burgomeister. The details of your journey are simple. You killed the brigands. He nods, smiling tersely before handing over your payment, as agreed upon. Good work, men. Those brigands were giving us plenty of trouble. Well, they definitely won't be now. Not unless the dead suddenly learn how to walk again, am I right? Oh, I gotta go. And with that, I think we're at a good place to call it. Back at Loundstat, got a couple of wounded and a new recruit in tow. I see we've got a new one skull contract as well, so that'll give us something to do next time. We should definitely be able to hit friendly with Loundstat once we clear those. And that'll be our first reputation challenge. So yeah, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll probably advance the clock till morning just so we can get these wounds treated and do some light trading, get some tools back in stock. Get the newbie properly equipped and properly named. Speaking of which, as per usual, Raiders got first dibs on slots, but recruitment is open for rank and file viewers if you want to toss your name in the hat. Live and die for the glory of the Raiders. Just let me know in the comments below. Be sure to list the character name you'd like, as well as any preferences you might have on appearance or build. Raiders do get priority for placement, but given the nature of the game, it's always good to have some backups on standby. That said, we'll hit the pause button for now. I'll probably push the clock till morning, get these wounds treated, do some light trading, restock on tools, and we'll pick up here next time. There's trouble a-brewing, and we're more than happy to stir the pot. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Erie V23, Revenant, Alois, Arrow Bowman, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.